Okay, it's a little before 8 in the morning here at BuQeye Barbecue, and it's 34 degrees. One thing I love about the cold weather getting here is it makes it much easier to cold smoke. And today we're going to cold smoke a big load of cheese. We're going to use it for holiday gifts for some people, and I've been looking forward to this. It's going to be a pretty nice day, no rain and cold. So I've got my smoke tube. It's filled with pellets, and my torch is actually, I don't have any fuel for it, so I've got a paraffin wax cube I'm going to use to start this. I've never done this before, but it should work okay. So we're just going to get that lit. There we go. So we're going to let that cube burn out, and then let the make sure the pellets are lit, and then blow it out, and that'll last for plenty of time to smoke our cheese. So I'll keep an eye on this fire. In the meantime, I'm going to get the camera inside, and we'll get our cheese out and ready. So I'll see you in a minute inside. So when I do smoked cheese, I sort of like a medium firmness, and I know that doesn't tell you a lot, but I try to avoid the super hard and dry aged cheeses. They do okay, but I try to get a little less firmness than that. And of course you don't want super soft either, like I'm not going to be smoking Velveeta. So here's what I have real quick. I've got a nice block of pepper jack. It's got a great firmness, I think, for smoking. This is probably the hardest cheese I have. It's a Kerrygold Reserve Cheddar. I really am trying this just because I want to for the first time. Monterey Jack is a great firmness as far as I'm concerned. And then I've got two kinds of cheddar, just a standard mild cheddar and a Vermont cheddar. The Vermont cheddar is a little harder than the mild cheddar, but it's not too bad. The other thing I have, and I'm not going to show this while I'm doing it, but it's important for me, is I'm going to map out where I put these cheeses on my tray, because it's easy to get them mixed up, especially when you have two types of cheddar that are ultimately going to look very similar to each other. Pepper jack, you'll be able to tell, of course. The others probably won't be a problem, but I'm still going to make sure that I remember what they are. Off to the side, I've got a metal rack that I'm going to put these on. Just be easier and keep them cleaner out on the offset smoker. So let's get these done. So I'm going to give these as gifts, so I'm going to cut them into, I haven't quite decided, but probably around thirds. And as far as I'm concerned, it's just as easy to do that with the plastic on. There we go. So you sort of get the idea here. I'm just going to cut these, take the wrapping off, and get them placed on the metal tray. So in an effort to keep this video reasonably short, I will do this on my own and bring you back. Okay, so here is our cheese ready to smoke. I've got my map all done. So we have our Vermont cheddar here, our Monterey Jack starting here going down. We've got our mild cheddar starting here going down. We can tell our 4 blocks of pepper jack, and then our Kerrygold Reserve cheddar in the long skinny strips at the end. So we're going to check on our fire and we'll see you out there. Okay, so our smoke tube is going great. I just blew out a flame, but it's got the embers going and smoking nicely, so we're going to get that closed up. I do have the vent wide open, which I'm going to run it that way for at least a little bit. I'm not even going to stop the camera. We're just going to move it and Hopefully you can see that smoke rolling really well there. So here's my cheese. I'm actually going to do this on the lower rack today. We're just going to put it right in there, a little closer to the smokestack side. And this is going to go 2 hours or less, and about halfway through, so it may be an hour or a little less than an hour, I'm going to spin that tray around just to make sure we get some even smoke. But that's going to be it. So as far as temperatures go, 90 is about your upper limit. You're going to start losing oil and the cheese is going to start to melt. You don't want it to touch either. I sort of jostled mine, and so I'm not even concerned about the temperature today because it's so cold and we got such a small fire going. But I'll probably look at my thermometer just to make sure. But 90 again is the upper limit. 80 would be better, and less than that even better. So we're gonna get the lid closed and roll this smoke. Now I'm doing this on an offset, but you can do it on a pellet cooker the same way. Just throw your smoke tube in the bottom of it. Keep that fire small. Cold weather is your friend because the fire will be closer to your cheese there, but I've done it in a pellet cooker before. It worked just fine. Offset I think will be great. I'm really glad to do it on this offset, but don't let the cooking method stop you. There's plenty of ways to skin this cat. So we might bring you back when we turn this around, but we'll see you in a little bit. Okay, let's take a look here. We've been on just less than an hour. Ooh, look at that smoke. So there we go. I'm gonna flip this around and move this to the top rack. Just again, trying to promote some evenness, and we're gonna get this lid shut and let this continue to take that smoke bath. So we'll see you back here in probably an hour and we'll be done. Okay, we've been about another 30 minutes. Our temperature is great. It's registering well below where the Lone Star Grillz even starts tracking the temperature at 100 degrees. So I bet it's probably 50 degrees in there, maybe a little less. So we're probably got about another 30 minutes, but one thing I want to do, and we should be able to see here, I don't know, I hope this comes through on camera, but if I turn this over, there's a distinct color difference between the top and the bottom because the top is getting more smoke. So I'm gonna flip every single one of these over. Pepper Jack is very distinct. The regular Monterey Jack is, you can definitely tell, but I'm gonna do all of them. Just get them flipped over for the last half hour, and then we are gonna call this, and our cheese is gonna be done. Okay. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna get this back on the top rack there and let this keep going. About another 30 minutes and we're gonna call this and let our cheese rest. Bring you back. Okay, we've done our last 30 minutes. We are at 2 hours almost exactly. Our temperature is still great. And we have smoked some cheese, everybody. So I'm gonna get this inside on the counter and just let it rest and sit there for probably an hour or so, and then we'll show you what we're gonna do next. So we'll bring you back. All right, so we've let our cheese rest for probably a little more than an hour. I've got my little road map here of my types of cheese. So we're just gonna take each piece, and if it's got any residue from the smoker on it, I always like to clean it off. And I've got some butcher paper here. You can use parchment paper. You can use plastic if that's all you got. That's fine. I personally like to use paper. And what we're going to do is we're going to wrap each piece of this up in the paper, and we're going to put it in the refrigerator for at least a day. 2 days is fine. And then we're going to vacuum seal it. So I will bring you back for that next part of it. I do have some tape here just to hold the paper on. And I've also got, sorry, I know I'm out of the camera here. And I've also got a magic marker. So I can mark that this particular piece is the Vermont cheddar. And then we're just going to do it all that way, and we'll get it in the fridge, and next time we see you, we'll be getting this vacuum sealed. All right, after about a day and a half in the butcher paper, we use the food saver, which you don't have to have a food saver, but I think it keeps it really well, to wrap the cheese, labeled it. It's been in here about 10 days. I like to give it about 14 days, although we did break one block out and had it a few days ago after about 8 days for Christmas. It was good, but I like to give it about 2 weeks to mellow out. We gave away about 6 or 8 blocks, so this is what we have left. Again, I love cold smoking cheese. This time of year is perfect for it. Probably got another 2 or 3 months of being able to do it, and I'll probably do it again 2 or 3 times and just stock up on the smoked cheese. So this video started 10 or 11 days ago now, so I'm gonna wrap it up. And if you have a vessel, you don't even need a vessel. You could do this in a cardboard box. But just get yourself one of those smoke tubes. I'll put one in the description, and if you want to get one, they're very cheap. You can get a couple for like 20 bucks on Amazon. So I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for joining. Do me a favor, like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'd certainly appreciate it. I hope everybody is having a great holiday season from your friends at BuQeye Barbecue.